Hello and welcome to On Tops and Hots live edition, our streaming event every Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with me, John Zidar, and Taylor behind the curtain. Hello, Taylor.
Hi,
I knew you were back there. I could hear you breathing.
I'm here.
We bring this to you on behalf of our Discord group, which we don't talk about much because we're not trying to shove it down your throat. Everybody's trying to do that. We've got a great Discord group, folks. We trade everything. I don't care what type of stock you're into. We trade it from the OTC to the blue chip. We trade tokens, cryptocurrency. I've been enlightened that we even do sports betting.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. See? So we do it all. We have free areas. Of course, we have paid for areas. Go where you want. Chat with us. Get some alerts. Get some talk about things going on. There's a lot of chat about trading stocks right now. I'd like to follow and see what they're doing. So we have got a queue of tickers already lined up and a queue of watchers. I'm presuming you guys are still out there. What do we got? 5 of you. Hey, I appreciate every single one of you. I do. So Kashira was first in the queue today. She's brought us a ticker and we got it. And then came Underdog right behind her. Thank you for being here, Underdog. 3, 2, 1 to the moon. You know, I think that's the first time I've seen you here. You may have been here before and you say you watch me. So I am glad to have you here. Who else we got here? Belmore. She got here earlier than she's been showing up lately. Great to see you, Belmore. Well, you know what I mean. Kawadwo team. I see you've got 2 tickers there. I have put them both in the queue back to back. Normally, I only like to do one. Jerome, CYG, as I was saying, Quando, we may bump Pixel, although I'd hate to do that. So maybe we'll just let the show run longer. But Jerome, I want to get to your CYG. Gary, ICNM is worth a look too. We'll see how much time we have. We normally can't get more than 8 in a show, and that's if we're pushing it to an hour and a half. So let's get to it and quit wasting time. I'm going to let Taylor take care of the buttons for me, and I'll do all the jabberwalking.
Perfect.
So first one we're going to take a look at came from Kashira. No, my wrong. This is RUM, ticker RUM, Rumble Inc. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I've had so many people ask me about it. And I just think this is the faster way to talk about the stock than to answer everybody. I was brought into the circle of this heated up stock back when she was a penny stock. She was like $3.50. And I think I may have made a comment about what was going on with it, but I didn't jump into it. Well, since then, she took off. And the chart still looks good to me, folks. So right now, she's at $7.93. She was down today about 1.5%. She is on the major exchange. You got to love, well, I was going to say you got to love penny stocks on the major exchange. But you can. All major exchange stocks are free to trade, unlike the OTC when you got to pay to get in and pay to get out. Plus, you get to trade pre-market, after-market. That's a huge advantage, folks. There's a lot of huge jumps after and pre-market. And you don't have to be there to trade. You can just put in your orders. If you got a stock at $2 and you've seen it bounce to $5 before, put in a sell order for $5. If it hits while you're away, all the better, right? You didn't miss the bounce. So let's see what we got going on here with Rumble. We're going to start with the information I found, and then we'll come back and look at the general information. Rumble has a lot going on for it right now, folks. She has got lots of news. Let's just highlight this news. Rumble announces live stream contributions for the U.S. federal political campaigns. Now, I find this interesting, and I'm kind of getting off the track here, but up here we've got a piece of news. Trump-friendly Rumble platform extends gains on Barstool deal. Lots of information there. Fact of the matter was, it was back in 2021 that Trump's Media Truth Company made a deal with Rumble. Rumble is the platform for Truth Media. So when Truth Media hits out there, Trump's site, it's going to be running through Rumble. So that's a catalyst constantly. And when you consider this is election year, I don't know where Trump's going to be in it. I don't know if he'll get his foot in the door or not. But whether he does or not, we know Truth Media is going to be up and running. because when Trump wants to talk, he doesn't want to be shut down. And everywhere he talks, they shut him down. Fake news. Well, he's going to put his site up and it's going to go through Rumble. So Rumble is going to be getting a lot of attention just on that fact. And she still is. She's always getting attention for that. They have made a deal with Barstool Sports. This is a sporting events media site. They've gotten in touch with them. They want to get into sports. They are spreading off into sports. They are working with all sorts of media right now, including working with influencers who need a place to work. They have come out with a studio just here recently to help influencers. That's a whole new product. Donald Trump's SPAC aside, blank check deals are mostly dead. The SEC is finally ready to regulate. I found that interesting. SPACs are dead. They were hot there for a while. Their warrants were hot, and SPACs have just kind of gone away. But everybody is still looking at Trump's SPAC. Let's face it, folks, Trump is a catalyst in a lot of different ways. And then we've got Rumble partnering with 1775 Coffee, an exclusive Rumble brand product. Now, from what I've been reading here, that's what they want to do. They want to merchandise a lot of merchandise through the media, and they have lots of media deals. So it is a perfect matchup however they decide to work it. Now, did I have any other information here that I had set aside? Doesn't look like it. So let's check out the relative volume for the company. Down a little bit today, dropping from 52,000 down to 31,000 shares. It's under, oh, wait a minute, folks. That's not right. I did want to share this
with. That was the warrant one. Yeah.
Yes, it is. The company has a warrant. Now, right now, the stock is at $7.96. I just got into a warrant today. The stock is like $22. The warrant is 13 cents. I normally see warrants at 1/10, 1/20th the price of the stock. If it goes above that, it's doing really good. Well, look at the price of this warrant. For God's sake, it's at $2.07, and the price of the stock is under $8. You're talking 25%, 1/4. That blows my mind. Taylor and I just saw that before the show, and I just couldn't believe the warrant was that high. So normally the warrants are always going to be penny stocks, and when the stock runs, the warrant runs, and the warrant runs on less volume than the stock does, and can normally go further and faster than the stock. So if the stock goes 20%, you might get 40, 50, 80, 100, 300% out of a warrant. All I can say is if you're going to trade the warrants, be sure to pay very close attention to the spread between the ask and the bid. It'll jump and you'll think you've got money and go to sell, but it did not come up from the bid. It may have gone from 3 cents to 10 cents, and that's a normal jump. Don't think it's at 10 cents on the bid. A few more people have to pay that. Normally, it'll come down somewhere in the middle, and you can negotiate that. Let's see, going back to Rumble and not the warrant. Share structure on the company, 112 million outstanding. No clue what the float is. Won't be higher than 112 million, and it could be considerably less. Market cap, she's closing in on $1 billion. She's at 908 million right now. Financials for this company, we got them up to 2022. Normally with these major exchange stocks, you're not going to find any quarterly reports. You're lucky if you can get the semi-annuals. Ooh, we got a semi-annual. Yay!
Nice.
This came out. Yeah, you normally don't get them over here at the OTC market. June of last year, she was at $73 million. That is for 6-month period. She was running at a loss of 29 million. On that annual, at the end of 2022, she was at 39 million, and she was at a 4 million loss. So, wow. Now look at that, folks. That took a whole, quarterlies just popped up. Where did they come from? All right, we got quarterlies here too, which is a little sad to see. They've got money coming in regularly. It's bouncing around, but they're not making any money. Every single quarter, they're losing money, which is not a good thing. They got lots of money in the bank, over $250 million, 265 million. Total assets, 331 million. Liabilities are really low, 55 million. So we've got positive stockholder equity in this company of over $250 million, 275 million. Not bad. Disclosures for the company. We got anything running over here? We got an 8K that came out the other day. What is this about? Oh, they were having a problem with Rumble hooking up to YouTube. So they reached out to the people and said that they were taking care of that, which is pretty cool. Outside of that, there's nothing going on. I mean, they've got lots of things happening. They are doing more deals. They're expanding their products. They are working with merchandise now, the coffee. There's a lot of information there, but basically they are spreading their wings and starting to fly. And honestly, I think the biggest catalyst is going to be the Trump Truth Media. Being an election year, Trump is going to use Truth Media for his own purposes, and this company is the platform for it. So when Trump does something, this company is going to get vibrated too. So I think that is going to be the biggest catalyst for this company this year. Take a look at the chart for us, Taylor.
Okay, so this is the daily chart. I'm going to start here and just talk about this for just a second. So this started around the end of September last year. All of the last part of last year, it just stayed in this little area, and then broke through, kind of hit a low around 336 or so, and then completely started to blast and got back in this area on this day. Let's see, but it opened lower the second day. That was that thing that came out about Trump that day. This was Monday, January 22nd. I was noticing that the date on that that document you were looking at. So, and then the next day, right after that, came all the way up to exactly the 200, right at it on the daily. So this is really respecting this chart. I mean, it is respecting these levels like crazy. So I looked at this here, and the reason I drew this line is because it looks like it was an area of support.
Yeah.
Several times. After it broke through, that was the end of that. And then we kind of consolidated here. Now we're back up over that level. And if you want to look even further, it's probably around, I don't know, this area. So we're kind of right above that area now. Okay. So that's good. I would like to see it stay above that, but I do expect it to kind of come down to at least in this area and then maybe come back
and
up.
What's that area?
And that could be that could become a new level of support. So let's drop it down to
what price is that, Taylor? What price is that for those watching on a mobile phone and can't see the numbers?
Sure. So the level I have marked up is around 782, but I have it like 770 to 795. Give or take. It's just a area. You can see that it has come up and it's trying to respect that level here. So I like that a lot. This is the 1 hour. And
I am looking at that 50-day. She is really coming down hard onto that 50. She could easily come right underneath your gray area to that 50 and come back up.
Definitely. I do see it coming back down to this level here, which is exactly where that, I mean, that's like, it was perfect on the 50-day. So that's on the 1 hour. You can see that we had like golden crosses here, and it's, you know, it's come back down several times, hitting it.
Lots of buying opportunities.
Yeah, lots of buying opportunities. But with that being said, it did jump up really, really fast. I mean, that's more than a 100%
chart looks
gain.
good. How's our short chart looking now?
Let's look at the 15-minute. So here's the 15-minute.
That's looking nice. I mean, she's bouncing, but she's going up. She's really looking smooth.
Yeah. I mean, it's you know, these waves down, down, like higher highs, higher lows. Yeah, this is looking nice. We should have seen this a little bit. I mean, if we would have caught that, it would have been a lot nicer had we caught it.
I have no excuse.
That news
People
came out.
brought it to my attention. The fact is, honestly, I get so many stocks thrown at me. I'll put up a video about a stock, and rather than make a comment about the stock I just covered, people just drop, what do you think of this stock? What do you think of that stock? And it's like more due diligence. Oh my God. What about the stock I just covered? So yeah. We did have an alert on this, and obviously you people knew which stocks to be looking at. So wherever you're doing your DD or listening, keep your ear and your eyes on that area, because that was a hot stock. It still is. I would watch it for the whole year. I swear to God, I'm not going to take rum off of my watch list. Look for a serious drop. At some point, you may get a bad drop that looks scary. That's going to be the best buying opportunity, probably.
Yeah, for sure. It looks really nice. I like this one. We'll keep this we'll mark down the day of this and we'll come back to it, I'm sure, another
We'll
day.
give it a yellow star and a thumbs up.
Yeah.
All right. Next one we're going to take a look at is from Kishera. This is UCAR. I've been looking at UCAR off and on for the last few days. It occurs to me that the chart's probably where I noticed it from, and I think I posted some information about it as well. So, UCAR, this is a Chinese company. They finished today at just under 10 cents, 9.58. Had a great day, just shy of 50% gains. Another hot penny stock on the major exchange. Now, the company is a Chinese company, but they don't have any operations. They truly are a holdings company. And they've got some subsidiaries that they work with that do business in China. And the business they do is this. They develop, manufacture, and sell new energy vehicles and battery swapping stations in the People's Republic of China. So rather than charging your battery, you're just going to pull up, they're going to pull your battery out and put a new one in, and you're out of here. That's the way they're going about it. A whole different aspect than how we're doing it. But they don't. I was reading the information about this company, and hold on. Let's see if I got it pulled up somewhere here. Boink, boink, boink. No. All right, let's just start with what I do have here. News. We have a problem right now. They have been under $1 for too long, and they have received a warning from the NASDAQ. They have until July 17th to get the price up over $1, or they're going to be yanked off of the major exchange and thrown down to the OTC. Most likely the ghetto, down to the pink, which is a horrible place for a major exchange stock to end up. Now, what they've got to do is get that price over $10, close over $10. $1, close over $1 for 10 consecutive days, and they're out of hot water. Now, from what I read here, let me see, there's a couple people who are in trouble right now. Does not regain compliance. No. I was looking to see if they were appealing it. When you appeal it, you freeze everything. You can't get in any more trouble until they hear what you've got to say. So whatever they were planning on doing, you can block them just by appealing it. Let's see what else we've got here. UPower and Cornerstone signed memorandum of understanding to explore the application of new energy charging equipment and EV product solutions in Hong Kong and Southeast Asia. Basically, it's exactly what they said there. Cornerstone is a company that's already set up in Hong Kong that has connections, and they want to set their products out in that area. This is a huge contract. This is a big deal, this one. Then we've got a piece of news on the 8th of February. They got themselves a new independent director. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a big deal, but independent directors are different than directors. Independent directors are brought in as advisors, unbiased advisors, because they have no investment in the company. They are there to look at the company from an unbiased point of view, give advice. If there's a problem in-house between management, they're there to cool things down. They bring in expertise without leaning one way or the other because they have an investment in the company. They don't. So it's always nice to see someone come in, and this guy's got some good credentials. Jump in there. You can read what he's all about. And that's what it's about. You want someone to come in who knows what he's looking at, who can say, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I do this. That's what they're there for. Was that all the information we had? It was. So let's take a look at the general information for you, Car. Whoa, what a hot day. She went up 10, 11, 12, 13 times her normal volume. She's not under the radar. She's been doing 22 million shares a day for the last 30 days at virtually a dime. We're not talking about a sub-penny stock here. And today, she did 270 million shares. There's got to be a fresh catalyst, wouldn't you think? We'll check the filings here in a second. Outstanding share count. I find that curious. 50 million on the money. I don't know what their authorized shares are, but to me, I would think they put every one of them out. It's just too round and even. You never see that. So I don't know how many they have here. And the reason you don't see that is because they're a foreign company. Even Canada doesn't reveal how many authorized shares they have. Our float, got no clue what that is. But I will say this. Most Chinese companies have really small floats. I'm just saying. I don't know for a fact. Market cap for the company, 3.2 million. Financials. We don't have anything here since 2022. And that's righteous because they normally only give annual reports. No quarterlies. We got a semi-annual, but that's from 2022 as well. So I think I dove in. Where is that? I thought I did have a financial opened up here. All right, we've got a 6K here. There's a lot of information in here. No, this one is about the independent director. It was the other one. This 6K has a lot of information in it, but it's a little old. Then you've got their most recent financial, a 20F. It's not a 10K. It's not a 10Q because they're a foreign company. That's what the F on the back is. And there is a ton of information here, about 150 pages. And most of it is about being liable to China, all the lines that they got to stay within and not cross, and the risks and stuff like that. But they didn't give us any more information. So right now, we are waiting to see what their financials are going to be. At the end of 2022, they were at 1.1 million, and they got to keep 382,000. Balance sheet, they've got less than $1 million in the bank, 40 million in assets, only 16 million in liabilities. So again, we do have a company here that's got positive stockholder equity. We're not holding a bag, about $24 million. So I don't think I've missed anything here. I think we've covered everything. And the most recent,
that latest news was from today.
No, that most recent piece of news I was just looking came out on
the news. It was a filing, some kind of filing. It was from the 8th of February today.
Did you see a date? That was also the 8th.
Okay, that's today.
That's today. Hello. Right. I don't know what I thought
I'm just asking because I'm looking at this chart.
It keep me on my toes. Yeah. So this is the new independent director, folks. You know, I told you, I think it's a big deal. Whenever you get somebody that has experience that you don't have to pay, he's not on the payroll. He's there to help the company. It's a very strange situation, but I always love seeing a new independent director come in because it's new expertise that can help the company. So let's take a look at that chart. 45% jump today.
Okay. Well, don't panic. This is just this is the last time we looked at it was the 14th of December, so a couple months ago. This is the daily chart. So as you can see, it's just been completely falling.
Been sad for a long time.
And there hasn't been any stock splits or anything like that. And you can see the 200's so tiny. So let me go over to this.
Boy, she's been scraping across that floor, hasn't she?
Yeah. So here's the 1 hour. So you can see.
Yeah.
I was looking really closely at this. It started to jump Wednesday after hours. So that was yesterday. So someone knew something, obviously.
Always.
It started jumping. This is after hours market. This right here when it started to move. Mm-hmm. And then this was pre-market today. It came up to a high of like a little over 14 cents. Okay. Now we're like around 9 or 10. But it's still higher than it was, you know, down here 7, even 6 cents. Okay.
That's a nice setup. She's sitting on top of the 200 and financials are due anytime. We are waiting for that annual financial to come out. It ended in December. We're in February. They get 30 days. So we should see that. And if they're good, she is in a perfect launch position right now.
Yeah, right now it looks really good. This is almost like a bull flag setup. It jumped up and now it's kind of consolidating here. And then I would expect it to
expect it to dip to drop down to the 20.
I don't know. I mean, it depends on what kind of news comes out. Something, I think it was from that filing. Someone knew something because it started jumping after hours on Wednesday. Right now it's starting to fall, and this is in after hours today, obviously. So, I mean, I'm looking at this now. Let's see.
Check out the shorter time frame and see if you can get a little more.
15-minute. So the 15-minute is, you know, as you can see, it's just kind of, it is in this wave setup.
Yeah, it's going sideways. It may have been waiting for that 50, dipped under it, and she could take another good pounce right now.
Yeah. I I mean, it's going to have to get a lot more volume like it's been getting here. This was pre-market today. That's when it had the highest. Then at the very opening today. And then as you can see, the volume just kind of coming down.
That
So
was
tomorrow,
pre-market, wasn't it?
yeah, if you're going to trade this, it's best to do this pre-market or right at opening, because after that, the volume just kind of
Yeah, I'd watch this stock simply because of the financials right now. It could easily be a catalyst, and if it is a catalyst, she's set up for it. She's got a chart that's already warm, so throwing an extra piece of wood on it is just going to make this baby blaze.
Yeah. Anyway, so
anything else there? Nope.
That's about it.
Over here, Opti. Who we got for Opti? Underdog.
Yeah.
Opti, this is Optech International. Finished today at 00325, down 3%. She is on the pink tier, but the lower half of the pink tier, limited information, which means that she's late on a financial. Maybe one, maybe many. And if she doesn't get them in time, caught up, she's out of here. They'll pull her off of the OTC and throw her down to the expert market. Now, that's not being delisted. It's a penalty box. It's a timeout. They are yanked off the market, and for the most part, their shares cannot be bought or sold until they come back on the market. How do they do that? Get your filings caught up. Once they catch up with their financials, everything's back to normal. And if you're invested in the company when they go on the expert, the only thing you can do is sell your shares. And normally when a stock goes down to the expert market, the price plummets. And I mean plummets, folks. If it was at a penny, it'll go down to the triple zeros. Who wants to sell at 000 if you've got in over a penny? Nobody. So really, shares don't move while stocks are on the expert market. Now, here's the important key. She is on a slippery slope. If she doesn't get them in, she's out of here. How do we know when that's going to happen? It will say grace period here in yellow, but they don't give you a date. You want to know when. So come on over here. Let me grab a different window here. Come over here to the quote tab right here. Scroll on down to proprietary quote eligibility. Right up underneath here, it will say grace period right here underneath. And it'll tell you the exact date. It is a 15-day countdown. And if they don't get their financials in within the 15 days, you can guarantee it's going to the expert market on that last day. So we've got to watch for that, and we are going to check out the financials. Now, the problem with this company is I don't have any new news. The most current piece of news is all the way back in April of 2023. There's nothing down here. When I go over to my disclosures, I don't have anything since 2020. Then we look at our financials, which we know they're late on because they're pink limited. How many are they late on? Well, over here is the period they filed for. So I see December 2022, March 23, June 23. Here's where the problem begins. The annual, they did file it, but where's the attorney letter? There must be an attorney letter with every annual on a disclosure. They never got one. They did get in their first quarter for 2023, filed a late notice for the second quarter of 2023. It didn't get in. So we're missing the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter, and the annual now for 2023. Plus, we have to have an attorney letter for the annual report back here and another attorney letter for the new annual that's got to come out. We are looking at 6 filings that they have got to get out, or they're going to be thrown off of the OTC market down to the expert. Keep that in mind. So we've got no new information here, no new news, no new filings, and we've got them on a dangerous slippery slope with a lot of weight on their back. It isn't looking pretty at this point. Relative volume for the company, a sinking ship. And look at all of these people. We jumped from 23 million shares up to 155 million shares today. I know. Share structure. I call that a dark catalyst. When things look the bleakest, it's like everybody wants to see the show, and you got to buy a ticket to see the show. Boom. Share structure. Wow. Oh, my God. Authorized shares. They have 4.75 billion shares, and they have 4.747 of those billion shares on the market. They have so few shares, folks, they are diluted. They can't do anything. If they needed more money right now, they couldn't do a public offering because they have nothing to sell. The shelves are empty. If they needed to make a deal, a merger, an acquisition, they couldn't give any shares out. They'd have to use cash to get into the deal. Out of that 4.7 billion, they own about 250 million of them. We get all the rest, about 4.5 billion shares. Market cap currently for the company is 15 million. Let's call it 16 million. And financials. All right, over the last 4 years, they've had some ups and downs, and something happened here. Right here, we had a big year, 31 million compared to 1 million the year before. But I noticed that they changed their fiscal year ending. It's not June of the year anymore. It's now December. I don't know if there was a merger here, an acquisition, or if they just changed their bylaws. I have no idea. The revenues changed, though. They jumped down to 5, fell down to 2, and they are bringing home some money. That didn't cost them very much. They got to keep most of that. We don't have a financial here, but that's the case, right? We are missing financials now. We're not going to have anything recent. Balance sheet. What are they looking like? They got nothing in the bank. Zip. 17 million in assets. Sounds good. 16 million in liabilities. Well, we got our head above water. 1.3 million in stockholder equity. Things look bleak, but we're not holding a bag with this company. So there you go, folks. You got a company that hasn't got any fresh news, any fresh filings. Matter of fact, they are late on a lot of them. I don't know how much time they have left. They don't warn us when the grace period is going to come up. You've just got to watch for it. And when you see it, go check, see when that last day is. And if they don't get the filings in, you may want to get the heck out of this stock before it goes down to the expert, because there's no guarantee it's going to come back. There's a lot of stocks that fall down to the expert market that stay there forever. Take it from somebody who knows. So let's take a look at ticker OPTI.
Okay, so I was just looking at, this is the daily chart.
What Jesus is that?
Exactly. So I marked off where it was consolidating pretty much all of last year for months. It was just between 0002 and 0004. It was just, that was it. Nothing really was going on. And then this happened probably the beginning in middle of November, and we jumped up to the 001 and up. So this has been a really good support here. And then just within the last few days, so 1st of February, this past week. So let's go down to the 1 hour and we'll see. Like, this is what we're looking at now.
Look at the volume.
Yeah, this
for what reason?
I do not know.
You got to do a Twitter search, because maybe there was a tweet we didn't check.
I have no idea.
The OTC is not the end all of all. You know, this is where we're looking, and we could run around doing some more research, but you gotta draw a line somewhere. But by golly, did we just see that drop some?
Yeah, it's just dropped to, it looks like it's, now this is delayed because I don't subscribe to the, up to date. This is after hours, so whatever is happening now, I don't know what it's doing, but it looks like it closed at 0032 today. But yeah, that is pretty crazy to go from basically 001 or 0009 all the way up to 0038 or so. That's
300%.
300% in like just a few days, matter of days.
It does look rough, but that wick came right down to a resistance. You can see right there, she had been bouncing in that region before, and your oscillators look really sad right now.
Yeah, on the 1 hour, it does look pretty sad, but that's why you got to kind of look around at these. Yeah, this 15-minute.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a little bit delayed, so I don't know what it's doing right this second.
We won't hold it against you.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's got the momentum. A lot of
that doesn't look bad. That huge drop, and now with the wick going the opposite direction, that could definitely be a token sign. She's definitely worth a watch. I just don't know why we're watching her. Except
I don't know either. Yeah.
Technicals is all I see here, and they're blowing my mind. To see a stock run without any obvious catalysts, it's like you worry about pump and dumps, but I haven't done enough research to say anything. The chart is impressive.
Yeah. And remember, this is coming from, if you go back to 4 hour, I mean, we were in this area 0002 to 0004 for months and months and months. Now, once it got up over that 0009, 001, it just, I mean, it just took off. This is the 4 hour. I mean, unreal.
Really, it boggles my mind. I just don't, I see this happen a lot with stocks. And a lot of times it is with a dark catalyst. When you have a stock that's got problems, they're about ready to be delisted off the major exchange. They've just announced bankruptcy. There's a threat of going to the expert market. You see this terrific bounce. It doesn't last. And that's what I'd be watching for now. The strong pullback down to where she's been sitting all that time right there, which would be a safe zone. I don't know why she isn't down at 000 right now, to be honest.
This is crazy. I mean, this was all this week from Monday until today. It's just been all green. Crazy.
Just out of curiosity, after the show, I'm going to do a little deper dive and see if there is anything out there.
Let me keep an eye on this. That's crazy. Something must have happened. Because it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Yeah, and it started in November. I don't know what happened there too.
There was nothing. There's been no news since
came out of that consolidation. I mean, it was here for months and months and months, and then
we should have seen it coming.
Yeah. So that's that one. That's OPTI. So.
All right, I am ready. So we are over here looking at GGE. This is Green Giant, not to be confused with Jolly Green Giant. This is not the vegetable company.
Yeah, I thought that at first.
I did too. It was the first place I went. And when I started diving around trying to get some information, it became apparent to me this could not. They say that the company, through its subsidiaries, by IE, engages in real estate development in the construction and sale of residential apartments, parking lots, and commercial properties. Now, was this, since we're here, I've got it opened. I guess they just came out with their most recent financials. Let's start up here at the assets, right? Total assets, we've got $215 million, which has jumped. That was at the end of December of 2023. That jumped $10 million from September. Total liabilities, $194 million. So we have positive stockholder equity of about $20 million. Now, this is when I knew it was not the vegetable company. Total revenues, it does say real estate sales here, which was a giveaway, $185,000. I was looking for the thing that says add 3 zeros up here, but it doesn't. Now, we've got some huge numbers up here, $215 million in assets, but their revenues say they only did $185,000, and they got to keep $74,000. What? $74,000 in 3 months? This ain't the vegetable company. That's when I knew. That's when I started digging around. And that's when I discovered what the company does. Let's see here. Did I pull up the news first? No, let's go this way then. We have some news here. This came out December 12th. I think this may be one of their most current pieces of news. The company entered into a securities purchase agreement with certain accredited investors to sell $5.95 million of units. Now, normally when you're dealing with accredited investors, it's not a public offering. It's more of a direct offering between the two. It's not done out there on the market. They say this is a public offering, so I'm a little confused already. Then they give us some terms here. Now, this is leading to something I really want you to see. Under the terms of the securities purchase agreement, GGE has agreed to sell 35 million units, which will equivalent out to 35 million shares. A unit is a package deal. You get one warrant and you get one share, and you can trade both of them. They're going to be selling these for 17 cents a piece. The stock right now is going for about 4 cents. The warrants will be exercisable immediately. Normally, you got to wait for them to hit a price to go live. These are already live. They will have an initial exercise price of 17 cents for the next 5 years. Now, the way I'm reading this, you can buy a share of stock with one of these warrants for 17 cents. You're going, well, that's no great deal. It's at 4 cents. Big deal. Yeah, but they're good for 5 years. What happens in 3 years from now when it's up to 12 bucks? Take your warrant, 17 cents, and go buy a $12 share. Though you actually won't get the share. They'll just put all the money into your account. That's why people love warrants. Now, that's great. I don't know if that's for us or the accredited investors yet, but that's not really what I want to share with you here. As I was reading this, I found something that put up a big red flag. Offering to increase, they are going to increase their authorized share count. That's something they are looking forward to do, which means they're going to put more shares into their bank. They can make deals with them. They can make public offerings with them. The holders of the warrants agreed not to exercise cashless below $1.50 during the first 20 trading days after, I don't care what I just read, it's what I'm going to read now I want you to pay heed to, after effectuating of a reverse split of the common stock. Nowhere else is this mentioned. They don't go into any more details about this, but that is telling us after the effectuation, after we do our reverse split, then these guys are going to be able to do something with their warrants. I'm not really concerned about what they get to do with their warrants. We got a reverse split. They just hinted to here. We don't know how big. We don't know when. We just know they're talking about it. Red flag, folks. What else did I have here? Yes, they too are under $1, and they've been under $1 for too long. They have been given a warning. Well, rather than get a deadline thrown in their face and have to sweat it, because the company can only do one thing to get the price up over $1, a reverse split. And if they don't get it way up over $1, chances are it's going to come right back under $1. Look at who's that company I keep getting raped with? They've had 3 reverse splits already. Mullen, M-U-L-N. 3 times they've done reverse splits to get over $1, and they keep falling under. The last one was big, pushed it up to $13, and I think they're down to $6 right now. So that doesn't prove anything. So we, the investors, have to get it up, or they can stiff arm the NASDAQ. By appealing it, you stay off any action. They can't touch you until they talk to you. And let me see, the hearing is on, no, they have just submitted it on the 23rd. So we're going to get a letter back telling us what date it's been set for. And normally it's 2-3 months down the road because they've got a long list of people that want to talk to them. So we've got that going on right now too. They are in hot water, but they are appealing being delisted from the major exchange down to the OTC. Rather than get the price up by doing a reverse split. That's probably why they're talking about it, right? So what's the relative volume around the company today? Huge jump, going from 13 million to 193 million. Wow. Share structure for the company. Oh, not bad. Outstanding share count is about 143, 144 million. Insiders got about 19 million of those shares. We get all the rest. Our float is about 124 million if these numbers are correct. Market cap for the company is currently about 4.2 million. We've already looked at the financials. Don't need to jump over there. Although we can take a look at them. Wow.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? The years ago, they were making decent money. 12 million, 58 million, 10 million. Now we're down to 1.7 million and they're losing money. It's the first time they're losing money. And that was September of 2023. Quarterlies, okay, they're making money. Not much. 74,000 is better than losing. They brought in 185,000. And those balance sheets, money in the bank, we got 7.2 million. Assets are strong, 215 million. Got a lot of liabilities, 194. But again, we've got another company that has positive stockholder equity. That is a huge plus, folks. We're not carrying deficit. We do have $20 million. That is for the investors to divide up into the shares. Great day. She finished at about 26% gains, almost 4%. Another hot penny stock on the NASDAQ. So I think that pretty much covers it for GGEE. The only filings we've got over here is our most recent financial and shares that they are thinking about putting on the market. You can get these. Let me see. Oh, I just saw something there.
Uh-oh.
What's that? Questions and answers relating to the merger. What? What merger? Under the merger agreement, GGI and BVI, which is wholly owned subsidiary of the company, form the purposes of the merger. Done. Any dates? Well, this is a recent filing, folks. We didn't see any news about a merger. GGI and BVI. When do you expect the merger to be completed? There's a good piece of advice. Empty date. 2024 is all we get. Looking for some information. All I can say is we've got some more due diligence here, folks, but there's a catalyst, right? We've got a catalyst of a merger that was hiding in one of those filings, which I don't believe actually came up anywhere in the news. No, we've got nothing here in the news about that. Most recent piece of news is back in January 1st. So hiding in a filing, the most recent filing is mention of a merger, and that is not the, back this up. That was, I want to look at that. I want to check that out. It was this PRER 14A, which caught me off guard. And let's see if they mentioned this in the 8K. Nope, that's the NASDAQ reaching out to them. So we've got a catalyst. We've got things going on. They're making money. They've got things happening right now. I like what I'm reading. I need to see the chart because I haven't glanced at this chart at all.
Okay. So I'm just going to show this real quick. This is the daily chart starting from about November on. So that doesn't look too good. But let me go over to this. This is the 1 hour.
That last bar of volume was something, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. So yeah, it had gone from a high of like 170 or so, 174, all the way down to 4 cents. But here's what the 1 hour looks like. As you can see, it's just it had been kind of stagnant. And there's a couple of areas where it will jump up and then come back down. Here it did it again. Here is another one. So I don't know if this is a pump and dump situation or what, but
well, we've got that merger now, which I was not aware of. And obviously a merger is always a catalyst. And
so if this is related to that, then it could absolutely.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And 321 to the moon says it's going to explode. He probably knows more. I don't know, knows more than we do about it. And chances are that is the catalyst. So I would definitely do some more research to find out about this merger.
Yeah.
Because it could be a big deal.
It looks like they were saying that in the middle of the day, and that's when this was just jumping. Let's drop down to the 15 minutes. So this was in the middle of the day here. So it was exploding. That is exactly what was going on. So it was, down here it opened at around
50, came back to the 50, and now she's bouncing and climbing again.
Yeah, it opened at around 3 cents ish, and then jumped all the way up to 6 cents in the middle of the day. And
I would watch this pre-market after market tomorrow morning. I'd keep my eye on this bad boy. If you're not there right now, you can put in an order, a buy or a sell, and you might even get it right now because we are still pre-market after market. But I'm thinking about tomorrow morning. I get the feeling this could pop pre-market and then fall back.
Pre-market for sure. I would definitely look at this pre-market, definitely. Because especially now that this volume
up at that high bubble, up where it hit today, just underneath it, if it looks good to you, and you might come in and see that you made some money while you weren't even trading.
Right. So this is what the 5 minute looks like.
Oh, that's looking nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But when you go back to the daily, it doesn't look so nice. But this is good. This is the 5 minute though. So this is like for quick trades. This is probably what he was looking at, or she. It was jumping. That is really nice. It came up there twice at 2 5 minute periods. So very nice.
Yeah, I'm
curling up again.
Definitely worth the watch. GGEE, definitely worth some more DD to get into that merger. See what is going on there.
Yep. It's coming up still. All right.
All right. I was looking for that next one. Can't find it
CBIA.
over there. All right. I got it over here, though. This
Yep.
is CBIA. I believe this is
Veldmore.
Velmore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. We are looking at CBIA, Cannabis Biopharma. Finished today at a great buy price, 0011. I love this, folks, because moving to 002 is one of the smallest moves on the entire chart, and you double your money in that move. It is the strongest profit margin you can find for practical trading. You can get down to 0001 and do better, but good luck down there. She had a great day, over 50%, hitting 57% gains today. We got another Pink Limited, same problem. She's late on one or more of her financials. She doesn't get them caught up. She's going down to the expert market. We've got our validated information here. You got to get some validated information with Pinks, folks. Pinks don't give us anything. The disclosures, those aren't even looked at by a CPA. Those are just numbers the management gives us. They put out the filings, if they do any. Most of these Pinks don't give us a lot of information. That right there is validated information. They verify certain things about their profile and they validate their transfer agent. Do a study, just a little study on what a transfer agent does, and you're going to realize just how important that green tick is. So what is this company about? Well, they've been doing new things here. They just had a merger, I think it was, or was it a change of operations? Jump over to that news. I think it was a change of operations to Blue Heaven. Cannabis Biopharma, now doing business as Blue Heaven Coffee, announces amendment to PepsiCo. Now, this is old news. This is back in December, and I don't think we have any more news since then. Announces positive results from an in vitro live Ebola virus. Oh, that's 2014. Pay no heed to that. I was going, where do Pepsi and Ebola virus come into play together? So what this company has is a bunch of vending machines in hot zones. Literally, they've got vending machines with hot foods, cold foods, beverages, snacks, and they have video machines that are going into some of these that are going to incorporate advertising, of course. And the big deal is that they got a contract with this Via Rail Station, I think it's called, and that's what all these are. They have these condiment stations at every rail station, which has constant traffic. You know, that just never ends. And this is what they've been working on. But I don't see anything new here. There's nothing in the news. Let's check those disclosures. No, the last one was in 2023. It was a good one, an SC13G. That's always good news. That's when you have a new owner come on board. This was Mango. Mango bought themselves 80 million shares, and that only got them less than 1%. God, how many shares has this company got if 80 million is less than 1%? Well, let's go find out. Share structure for the company? Yeah, that explains that. Oh, God. Authorized share count, 12 billion shares. Hopefully they want to use those to do business and not throw on the public market. We have about 2.8 billion on the public market. Insider zone, about 600 million of them. We get all the rest. Our float is 2.2 billion shares. Market cap with all those shares. You take all the shares and multiply it times the price. That gives you your market cap. 2.7 billion times 001 comes out to 1.9 million. Not a very big market cap. Let's see what our financials say. Oh, is this their first money? We've got nothing here until August of 2023, $600,000. They got to keep more than half of that. Quarterlies, yeah, they're starting revenues now, and the revenues are growing. Jump from 273 to 327. It's not a huge jump. Actually, their profits dropped a little bit, but they're in the game. They're making money now, which is a big deal. Let's see what their balance sheet looks like. In the bank, they've got just under $1 million. Assets, 1.3 million. Liabilities are only $500,000. So again, I'm liking this. Another stock with positive stockholder equity. It isn't much, but it's not negative. $834,000. Did we look at disclosures yet? Yeah, we did. There was nothing there. So what was the relative volume around the company? Wow, big jump. We've got about 5 times their normal volume. Huge numbers, though. It's not like we're going from 20,000 to 100,000. No, we're going from 117 million to 500 million, more than 500 million shares today. And that is on the OTC, which, let me refresh this page. Oh my God. Yes. I did not know we did 8 billion shares on the OTC market today, folks. I'm going to start monitoring this again. Oh, that's sad. Only $1.8 billion in volume. So we did more shares than I have seen in a long time. I am talking 16, 18, 20 months. I have not seen 8 billion shares on the OTC. Now, it's worth getting excited about because we've been down at 1, 2, 3 billion shares. But we used to be at 60, 70 billion shares before COVID. So we got a long ways to go. Now, this tells me since we didn't have a whole lot of dollar volume, we're selling a lot of cheap shares on the market. Lots of shares selling, but we're not doing a lot of volume. I mean, in dollars. So we're selling a lot of sub-penny stocks right now. That's something to keep an eye on. And out of that, they did 500 million. So that's 1/16 of all the shares. Now consider there are 12,349 companies on the OTC market sharing 8 billion shares. This company got 1/16 of all the shares on the entire OTC market, not to be overlooked. And I think that covers it. Yep, I've said enough. CBIA. Let's take a look at that chart.
Okay, so we have looked at this before. September 21st of 2023. So that's what that arrow means. This is just the day we looked at it. So all these lines.
We're getting used to your anal abilities. We like them. We like them.
I like when I've looked at something and I can look at the levels I had marked off to see.
Hell yeah.
All these are I had already drawn all this, so we can draw this out. Looks like we're right there in the middle of this. I had marked off this level as like a pickup area, which it did several times. And then once it broke that was all over because I had this one marked off as the low here because we looked at it this day. So I didn't look at it any time after that. It did come down to this 0005 and it was support for a while and then broke that. It went all the way down to 0001, which I'm sure that's the lowest it can go. I don't think you can do 5 digits, right?
No, you can't do 5 digits.
Okay, so 0001 was the low, and it did get down there in November. So it did have another run at the end of November. It came up, it broke this and this, and this too. So 3 different ones. So here we are now, and let's zoom into the 4-hour first, and then we'll go to the. So this is what's been going on lately. Very nice.
It's a breakout.
Yeah, this is starting to break out, but the problem is it had done that before and came right back down. So I'm a little leery of this.
That first breakout back there, this is what I tell everybody. Look at that. Look at the 200. It's coming down like a ski slope. If you think of that hill as having ice on it, anytime the price jumps up on a hill, it's going to slide back down. You got to wait for that 200 to get flat so you don't slip and slide. Bounce on it a few times, make sure it's good. Boom. And that's what it looks like. Our 200 is finally getting flat and she can get footing.
So the 4-hour looks really nice. Let's look at the 1 hour. Look at that. 1 hour looks phenomenal.
Picture perfect. Doing what a chart should do. Bouncing off the strong SMAs.
Yeah, and this level here that I had drawn from way back, the last time we looked at it, it bounced right off of that. So absolutely nice levels here.
What do you see, Taylor? You think she's going to hit off that resistance and come back down into that buy zone?
It almost hit it today. It was almost there. I think it will come up here and then come back here, and then we'll see if it breaks down to here. There's another one down here, and if it breaks out of this area, which it kind of is right now, then this is the next one, which is right at, it's at 0011.
I can see it coming down to the bottom of your shadowed area there, which looks to be about a resistance anyways, a support.
Yeah, it had been.
And that's what I would look for. I'd look for the dip if I was to get into this. And I do think the way the chart is looking, she is bouncing uphill right now. So now would be a good time to watch her.
Yeah, it came right up into this area that I had drawn from months ago, and then it came right back down to this 0005, but then bounced right back up past this area. So I would not be surprised if it hits 0012, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came hang out in here for a little bit.
I do want to mention, because we did not, I overlooked it. I apologize for that, folks. This was a pink limited. She is in hot water right now. And I'm looking at her charts or her filings right now, and it appears that she is late on, looks like 2 filings. Yeah, she is late on 1 quarterly and 1 annual. So she's got to get those in sooner rather than later. So she too is in hot water. And again, she hasn't got any fresh news. All we have is hot water, and the stock is running.
Yeah. Well, that's about it for that one. I'm not sure what's going on, but I don't hate it.
No, the chart looks good, even though I can't comprehend what the heck's going on with it.
We're gonna have to look into some of these tickers. I'm not sure. All right. Ding.
Ding. We are looking at, I got it, Kopin. We're coping with it. This is ticker KOPN. Finished today at $2.22, up 11%. Another hot penny stock on the NASDAQ. So let's see what we got going on here. Well, first off, let's see if we can figure out what this company does. Now, I did have a note here. It seems to me this company just IPO'd on February 8th. So they're fresh on the market. That's something to keep in mind here. Normally, you can see a pop when they first come onto the market, and then you see a big depression, comes down, scrapes, and then starts to come back up. That is just par for the course with these new stocks coming on the market. So Kopin is a corporation, leading developer and provider of innovative display and optical technologies, sold as critical components and subassemblies for defense, industrial, and consumer products. Now, from what I was seeing here, that's what they work with. Super duper crisp images. They can grab these images with high resolution and detail. And looking at the news, you get a feel for that. We have come back here January. Kopin receives a $20 million contract for new thermal weapon sight configuration. On the 23rd, Kopin receives initial production order for advanced surgical information display. On the 30th, Kopin receives $1.4 million order for specialized weapon sight module. On the 31st, the company receives a $3 million order for several simulated thermal sights. And on the 8th of February, the company receives new development order for Naval Air Warfare Center Advanced Micro Display Technology Research. Now, did I dive into that one? I was reading this, 2 million pixels, 2 million pixel crisp. I mean, God, folks, that is just unbelievable. I do artwork in 300 DPI, 300 pixels per inch is crisp. I mean, that's a beautiful picture. These people are 2 million. 18 miles away, you can focus in on a dime and see a scratch next to the date. This is just unbelievable stuff that they've got going on. And as you saw right there, the company's bringing in deals back to back to back, and they're not little deals. 20 million, 1 million, 3 million. And who knows what the Navy's paying. Lots of due diligence is worth being put into this one. There's a lot happening. Let's see if we got any disclosures over here. 8K. What's this one going to be about? All right. I did see this. They've got some legal proceedings. There was a litigation that was brought up quite a few years ago by a company called Blue Radio. They are suing the company for breach of contract. It's a one thing, you know, a company suing another company. It happens. It's not a big blown out deal. It didn't look like anything major to me. It's just lingering in the background there. But if you want some information, it is there in the most recent 8K. So what was the relative volume around Kopin? Oh, she's up about 50%, jumping from 2.2 million to 3.2 million. Share structure, not bad. Outstanding share count's only about 114 million. No clue what the float is, but it won't be higher than that. And it could be a lot less. Market cap, How about that? We're at $228 million. Woo, nice market cap. Let's see what we've got over here for financials. Well, they're not bad. 4 years ago, they were at 29, jumped up into the 40 million range and have been there for the last 3 years. Profits are bobbling around, but they are profitable. Quarterlies, they're doing an average of 10 million, above a little, but that's roughly what they're doing, and about 5 million in profits. So they're doing regular, steady revenues. That looks pretty nice. See what we got on that balance sheet. 10 million in the bank, 54 million in assets. Yeah, look at this. All of you brought us stocks that have positive stockholder equity. Bless your souls. We got 34 million in this one. I like that. I hate looking at stocks that haven't got anything for the investors. Disclosures, we did just take a look at that. This Form 4, just a heads up. Nope, it's an acquisition. You want to see a P for purchase or an S for a sale. That's what we want to know when the insiders buy or sell shares of the company stock. That's what a Form 4 is. Tells you who is involved, what relationship they have to the company, and how many. But if it's not a P or an S, it's something else, and I'm really not interested in something else's. So I think we've covered Copen here. Last thing to look at, your department, Taylor.
Okay. So this is the daily chart here.
Wow, we got some charts today, don't we?
Yeah, this is looking nice. So we're kind of when we were at this high around May, June area. So, and it's holding it. That's what's important here. It looks like it's staying up here.
It was a solid bounce off that 50.
Yeah, it's been jumping off this 50. Here's like another one. It was very close. Here is another one. I mean, this has been doing this since November. The 200 were way above that. We're almost all in a row here. Very close. 9, and then the green is the 21. This is the 50, and then this is the 200. It's very close to being all in a row. So just a little bit more. I think this is at 207. The 21 is at 210. So very close. Let's drop it down to the 1 hour and see what we've been doing. Yeah, look at this. Very nice. It really likes that. Yeah. Looks really good.
Yeah, I like that bottom. That straight flat bottom and not just a single bounce. She came off. Yeah, that looks sweet. I don't like the 50. The 50 looks a little hanky-panky to me, like she can put it down a little bit. But she's showing a lot of strength, isn't she?
Yeah, that happened because I guess, we pumped up here twice and then it kind of, it fell down to under $2.
Perfect example. You see the letter M, and at the end of the M, the tail, you have a big murdering fall, bloody trail. That's what we had there. Ouch.
Yep. The M and then the fall. And now we're kind of coming back up. So I don't hate this. I actually like it. I could see this coming back up here to the 250 area. I could see that. If it goes below $2 again, that might be another time to pick it up because it did stay here for a little bit. I don't hate this. I like it. Let's see what the 15-minute looks like. Okay. So this was all day today. Just kind of, it just ran.
Jerome, I don't mean to interrupt you here, but I'm getting ready to look at the other ticker. And Jerome, your ticker CYG is not coming up, pal. I'm going to look at your ticker. So if you're watching, type that ticker in for me right now so I know what to look at. Go ahead, hon. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I was just looking to see what it did just today. So this was pre-market. We had a little jump, kind of hung out, and then as soon as market opened, it just blasted and continued to climb until this afternoon kind of came back down. But we reached a high today. Looks like 229. We're at 222 now. That's where it closed. I like this.
That doesn't look bad for a bounce. The 20.
Not bad at all. Well, 1 hour looks pretty good.
That's a really interesting chart.
It is. I'm trying to, yeah, everything's trying to come up here. 200's just kind of been chilling.
Yeah.
I don't hate this. I like this. I'd like to see what else is going on with it, like more news or whatever.
Yeah, I like the chart, but I do suspect she's going to take a dip after that run down to maybe that, is that the 20, what's that white one? Is that your 50?
That's the 9.
That's the 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really pulled away from the 9. That's one heck of a distance. I would expect her to at least come back to the 9.
Yeah. And that's not too far away. That's at 217 right now. The 50 is at 222, and looks like a 225 right now,
Okay.
give or take. Hit a low of 221, so it's like right there. The 50's kind of
Yeah, the
boomeranging
chart has
back down.
definitely got my
Oh, it's coming
attention.
back up. In after hours, it looked like it came up a tiny bit, so it's delayed by a little bit, but it's not too bad. We could definitely come up here to the 250 area again. I could see that for sure.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. Keep an eye on that one.
I see we got a lot of newcomers. I see we got a lot of people coming in. Christ is King, Bold 10, Jake. Great to see all of you folks. Jerome, you got it in there. You the man. Now, which one is? Oh, sorry. You can't type SRY. I'm going to think that's the ticker. You got to go SORRY. You almost got me. All right. So we are going to go take a look at Sin. Boy, does this sound like fun. Spelled C-Y-N. This is Sing. Oh, this looks familiar. I don't know whether I covered this in a video or I covered this on a live stream because I remember telling you I'm going to pronounce this Sing. So Sing finished today at about 18 cents. Took a drop, about 4.25%. Another major exchange, hot penny stock. So I haven't had any time to do anything here. So let's just start from one side of the screen and work our way over. Took a serious drop in volume today, going from 15.7 million shares down to 4.8 million. That's like 60% drop. Share structure, that's not bad. We've only got 41 million outstanding shares. No clue what the insiders own. No clue what the float is. Won't be any higher than 41 million. That's about all I can tell you. Market cap for the company, lucky 777. They are just around 7 million. Take a look at the financials. Okay, we had money 4 years ago and we got money now. At the end of 2022, we had $262,000. They got to keep some profit out of that. Quarterlies, yeah. All right. Well, they're making money regularly now, but they're not making profits regularly. The profits took a big drop from 256,000 to 88,000 to minus 17,000. See what we got on the balance sheet. We got money in the banks. We can pay our employees $3.5 million. Total assets, $11.5 million. Not a whole lot of liabilities, only 1.3. Another positive stockholder equity stock. Yeehaw! $10.2 million. Take a look at the disclosures. We got an S8 here. S8 normally associated with shares coming on the market, or is that a meeting? Shares coming on the market. Issuable under certain grants under the plans. Doesn't look like a public offer. Doesn't say direct. We would have to dive into this. They are looking at 11.5 million shares. And you can have a lot of different ways shares come on the market. You could have a big investor sell some of his shares back into the market. Now, why he doesn't just sell them on the open market, I don't know. He goes through the company to sell them for some reason. But that doesn't increase the outstanding share count of the float, which is my whole point. Public offers increase the float. We got anything else here? Ooh, we got 3 SC13Gs. These are always good news, always. It'll tell you, no, we don't get any names here. Sabby. All right. They set these up a little differently, but we got Sabby investing into the company, buying 5 million shares, and they now own about 10% of the company. The other one above that, this is Empery Asset Management. They have just bought themselves, I don't know, they got common stock, pre-funded warrants. They got a bunch. They got 10% of the company. That's 20% bought up, and that's amended. All the A means is that they made a mistake in one of these. Let's see if there's a difference in it. 5%. Who's this for? So we just dropped from 10% to 5%. So it does make a difference. Now, there could be multiple purchases on here. I see 3 of them. You can come down here and they'll give you some gross numbers down here, tell you what it's about. You can get some more information. But the bottom line is we've got more people, new owners coming into the company, buying enough shares that they actually own a percentage of the company and may actually have voter rights in it. And just out of curiosity, what's that 8K about? Material definitive agreement. A placement agreement with Agis. This is what I'm talking about. Agis Capital bought a bunch of shares from them, 11.4 million. Isn't that what we just saw over here? 11.4 million. That sounds vaguely familiar. In either case, it's all good news. Speaking of news, that's the last thing we have to look at. We have news today. Sing to present at the Singular Research Emerging Growth and Value Alpha Leaders webinar. This is always good. It's boring news when they go to these conferences, webinars, virtual investor meetings, but this is where they're stimulating business, new investors, new contracts, things like that. So you want to see the company out there doing that.
Was there any news from, December 7th or so?
December 7th.
Yeah. Couple months or the day before.
Yeah, let me see. That's the 8th. Yeah. Sing granted 17th patent for AI-powered autonomous vehicle technologies.
Okay.
Which is always money in the bank, especially working with AI and autonomous vehicles, which is where everything's going right now. Those who get patents right now, who have discovered something, chances are someone else is going to discover it too, but they can't use it unless they get a license from this company to use the technology. So they've got their 17th U.S. patent there. Obviously, they got more. Secures their 18th patent. That was on the 9th of January. They got their 19th patent. That was on the 29th. Cinch releases hands-off automatic unhitching capabilities for their industrial autonomous vehicles. That's right. They have these vehicles like forklifts, and I do mean a forklift, buggies, and all sorts of stuff that work in factories autonomously. You give them jobs to do, and the forklift goes and does all that work without you driving it. But you can drive it too if you want to. So now they got an unhitching. So not only can it take your stuff where you want it to, it can unhitch it. So you don't have to have a person go over there just to unhitch it so it can go back and do its job. Now it unhitches itself. It's a little thing, but it's a big thing. It saves man hours. And they've got a lot of other news here. They got a public offering they just did, put more shares in the market, put more money in their pocket. They got $5 million out of that. And I think that's about it. We've got lots of patents. They're making their equipment better. They are doing more business, selling this equipment around the country and around the world. They just had an investor summit here in Puerto Rico. So the company's busy. They're doing everything you want to see a company doing. So I'm liking Sing, and I'm thinking that's why I probably covered her, because I liked her. But chances are she had a hot chart the day we covered it. So let's take a look at this now and see what that chart looks like today.
Okay. I'm not sure what day you looked at. This is why I was asking. This was on December 7th. It went up to almost 60 cents, just popped.
Sorry.
So I'm not sure what was going on there. Must have been the AI thing. That was those 60 cents. So that's over 200% from where we are now. It kind of had a little pop here and went up to about 31 cents. That was Friday the 26th of January. Now we're down here. Let's see. Let me look at the 4-hour real quick. Oops, here's what the 4-hour looks like.
The other chart looked better.
Well, I mean, I'm just doing what I can. Let's see.
I know we can't blame you for the chart, now can we?
Man, 1 hour is like kind of okay. So, I mean, it was the last part of January, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. I mean, it jumped up, kind of looked like it was gonna maybe continue, kind of kept doing these little pops, and looks like it's right at pre-market is when it does that.
I covered it on January 28th.
Okay, so it was right here around this time when it was doing this. So it's between here and here. That's when you covered it. So it did pop up to nearly 30 cents.
Boy, she took a drop after we looked at it.
And now it's been dropping since. Yeah. I was trying to find something good about it.
Right. Well, no, we're not here to hype up anything.
I know. I'm trying.
These aren't pictures of our viewers' kids. We don't have
I know that. Yeah.
Pretty. That's a nice baby. No, you can say this kid is ugly as sin. Whose is this?
I don't love that one. This one. I really don't.
It's showing a lot of depression right now. She's getting deeper under that 200. Her 50's falling under the 200.
Yeah.
All I can say is looking at your oscillators, we see some under pressure building up right now. Things are actually starting to lift under the current. So if you look on two sides of the coin, she's looked like she's right in that break point where something could happen.
It could. I mean, it did hold this area, so around the 17 cents area. But yeah, I mean, that it does have a lot of potential when you get in these smaller stocks, 17 cents or so, a little move can be a big percentage, not as much as the 00 stuff, but I mean, it could go back up to 20 cents, but
well, as I said, looking at your oscillators, and that, you have a current on the top of the water and you have a current under the water. And I see a stronger current under the water right now pushing up. And it does look like your SMAs are at that cusp where they're starting to level off. So we could be seeing a change of trend here. She's come deep under the 200. She did push it up. And I normally look for a breakout over the 200 when it's steep. That helps bring it up level. Then she's going to fall down and then get your pounce. So I think even though she looks really dark and nasty right now, I would put it on my watch list because she could be at a vulnerable turn point right now.
Could be. The 1 hour doesn't look as bad. Yeah. Okay. I'll mark that as, look at that. Oh, and it did have a really random split back in October, 11 to 10 for 10. So that's actually a forward split. I'm not sure why they would do that. I have no idea.
Yeah. You got 11 shares. If you have 10, we'll give you one more.
Very strange. That was when it was up here. So
don't see that very often.
Not sure. I don't see that too often, but sometimes I do.
Are rare enough, but just one more share.
A very strange one. Yep. That was just a few months ago.
Yeah, well, maybe that would be a good story to tell. Find out why they did that.
Yeah, I'd like to know that one.
All right, I think we're going to call it right there, folks. Let me bring that away. Where are we at, hon?
There we are. Sorry about that.
I see we had a lot more tickers come in, but normally 7 or 8 is about what we can do. You figure 10 minutes at the most, 5 minutes for me to talk about what's going on, 5 minutes to look at the chart. Anything less than that, and it's a blur. I mean, you could probably have gotten that much on your own. So sorry we can't look at more, but we can only do what we can do, and we got to give you something.
If you get here early enough, we can get to them.
SLS from Bold 10. We'll have to take a look at that, folks. We've been getting a lot of hot stocks brought in from you folks.
Yeah.
CEI, we looked at CEI a long time ago. Is that an oil company? I can't remember. It's been a while. She was hot. I saw that HKIT was at the top of my runner list today on my favorite scan for penny stocks, 001 to $3. I seen HKIT up at the top a lot today. She was a hot running stock. NNDM, is she hot again? I'm sorry we couldn't get to her. We're not going to get to any of these stocks, folks. We just haven't got the time. NWBO, the pharmaceutical company that just keeps bouncing. Got lots of things in the works right now. Folks, I appreciate all of you being here. I appreciate you bringing us tickers. I appreciate you spending your time with us. Last one I see down there, what's going on with SFIO? I don't know. It's been a long time since I looked at that company. What is that one? Is that technical security, fintech sort of stuff? I can't remember. I did remember looking at it a while ago. What's going on with CEO? Very low volume with CEO.
Starfleet Innotech is what it's called.
Company buying back shares. Well, there's a good catalyst. So if everything's low right now, it may be a good time to look at it under the radar. Thank you, folks. I wish I could get to all the stocks you guys bring me here. I wish I could get to all the stocks you leave with me everywhere else out there online. But I'm only one guy. I am looking into hiring AI to do some of this for me. We'll get a lot more done. And who knows? Maybe it'll even be hotter than it is right now. Thanks, folks. Thanks, Taylor. You're not going to be here next week. We're going to have, I don't know yet. We haven't found anyone yet. I have been looking. But that'll be great. We love having Taylor here, but take advantage of the new charters we have, folks. Every single charter does it differently than every other charter. And you can pick up little nuances, little things that can carry on through all of your trading days. So we will have a mystery guest next week. We'll see you then, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Thursday. Me and my co-host, whoever it'll be next week. And after that, we'll have Taylor back.
Yep.
See you then, folks. Bye-bye.